All right, we're live. We're live. So here's what happened. So I did decide to go with the Sovereign. If y'all didn't guess it, that's what today's card is about, the Sovereign. There's like a little crown on the card and everything. And I ended up going with this because I forgot that I had this choker. So I've had this necklace for years. It is an original, like it's a custom piece that a friend of mine designed for me because she was into doing custom jewelry. And so she was doing like these really like ornate, just really cool different chokers. And so I like, asked her to make one for me. And and so she made it. And so even though it's not, I don't feel comfortable wearing it because it's like when I put my like head down, like my chin touches it, like it's too wide for my neck to fit comfortably. And it's like metal, so like it's sturdy, but I never wanted to get rid of it, so I kept it. And I guess I told myself like I'm gonna wear it eventually. So when I asked my sister about the tiara and she ain't had the tiara, which I had some words for her again, it's fine, I'm gonna let it go. Not really. I'm not gonna let it go. I'm gonna keep making her feel bad about it because she should have a tiara. But because I didn't have an actual tiara, I looked at this and I was like, oh, I can wear this on my head instead. So now it's giving sovereign. The fur is from my mom. The gloves and this ring are also from my mom. She was like, "You got to have a big ring." And so I was joking with her before I came on here, and I was like, "If you mess around, this might be your brand personality. Because why do you have all of the elements that I need for this look?" So yeah, so this is it. This is the sovereign. I do feel fancy. I feel rich. And I feel like you can't just talk to me any kind of way because I'm a queen. I like this one. This one was fun. So yeah, it all came together. But I was looking at the cards, y'all, and today is day 10 of me doing the brand personalities. So that means that after today, we only got two more brand personalities to do. And we have the citizen and we have the sage. And so after that, we will have covered all the brand personalities. So if you've been listening and you're thinking, man, I kind of don't feel like I've found mine just yet, there's still three more, including today. There's still three more brand personalities, and so you may just find your personality in these last couple of days. So yeah, so let's get into it. How are y'all doing? How y'all feeling? It's Tuesday. It is honestly, I don't know where this energy came from that I got for y'all right now because I have been tired, like just tired. Like it's if you can't, you probably can't tell, but it's like gloomy and cloudy today and rainy. It's starting to get like for real cold now. Like the temperature's dropping, and so I just it's I mean been dragging. It's dreary in ATL. Yeah, it's just like what energy? Like who has energy? What is that? That's how I feel right now. That's how I feel right now. But I'm a kick it up, okay? I'm gonna find some for today so that we can have a good time talking about this brand personality because this is it's a really cool one. They're all cool. I know I said that about all of them, but it's because I feel like they're all cool. Yeah. So we are at 670. I didn't mirror my screen on TikTok. And I'm not going to, y'all. I'm not going to because I it's very hard for me to maneuver with these gloves. I've already had a hard enough time. Hey Aunt, thank you. And so Yeah, we're just gonna move with what we got. Um, but yeah, we're at 670, so we are still going up. We are up one more from yesterday, and I feel like I'm learning some really cool stuff doing this. So at the end, this is what I promise y'all. So when this is all said and done, I will tell y'all, we'll do like a check-in, and I'll let y'all know um like some of the numbers of like how this has been going, what I'm doing to um like take this content and repurpose it and do different things with it, and something else, but I can't remember what it is I said I was going to mention at that time. But I'll give a little rundown to how it's going, and then from there I'm also going to have to make a decision about like how I want to do this moving forward, because I really, really don't want to have to stream all the time on more than one platform. But for now, this is where we at. So yes, a queen must never work hard. The people will accommodate. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling real regal, real queen like. So as I said, that just reminded me of another brand example. So yeah, yes, Leon, I made it work. I made it work. Earlier today, I just had on the dress, and so I found the pieces to complete the ensemble. So yeah, this is her. This is a look. The only thing that I'm missing, that I wanted to do that I felt like would be fun, is I wanted to have the cards and this like rhinestone bag that I have. I feel like it would be cute to like pull them out, but the gloves have shown me to keep it simple. Keep it simple, and so that's what we're doing. Thank you, Leon. Okay. All right. So let's get into the sovereign brand personality. Um, if at any point my mic is sounding off, or I sound like far away or like scratchy, y'all let me know over on TikTok, okay? Because my mic is going a little rogue, but we're gonna keep on moving. So today's brand personality is called the Sovereign. Okay, the Sovereign. So the Sovereign possesses an aura of organization and order. The Sovereign is a model of proper behavior while exuding an untouchable quality of privilege and royalty. Under constant public scrutiny, the Sovereign is controlled, watchful, measured, and cautious with words and deeds. Connected with tradition and status, the sovereign is an archetype of dignity, benevolence, and serenity. This archetype is often combined with others, such as the sage, seeker, warrior, or lover, to increase the specificity of the sovereign's style and perspectives. All right. So this is one of the brand personalities that heavily leans on it heavily leans on uh-oh it heavily leans on other brand personalities to kind of give it some dimension. Hey Kayla. Yeah, I don't know what I just got attacked by. But yeah, it heavily leans on the other personalities to give it some dimension. Otherwise, just being like the straight up sovereign, um it ends up becoming more of a stereotype. Hey, Monica, it ends up becoming more of a stereotype than a real personality. And I want the people who represent this brand personality to know that they can actually see themselves in this. So, yeah. Hey, Kuma. Y'all, we're at 4 likes already on YouTube. That is so good. Yesterday it took like almost a whole live to get to that. So thank you for the likes over there. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Caleb. Yeah, I got the crown and the crown. I ended up finding a way to make the crown work out. So yeah, I had to give it some flavor, a little of my personality in it. So, all right, so let's get into more about the sovereign brand personality. So, if you're driven by a desire to create order, inspire loyalty, and lead with authority, you might embody the sovereign archetype. This is more than just wielding power, it's about fostering stability, making fair decisions, and guiding others with a strong, unwavering hand. Let's get into the strengths and the challenges and the authoritative essence of being a sovereign and how you can make this manifest with your brand. Oh, thank you, Kayla. Oh, now we're at 5 likes. Hey. I gotta do my I'm gonna do a shoulder. I feel like this is like a sovereign dance move. I'm gonna do a little shimmy. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about the strengths of the sovereign. Sovereigns are known for leadership and authority. Okay, that's a given. They naturally take charge and inspire respect. They are known for their stability and order, creating environments where people feel secure and organized. They are known for fairness and justice, making balanced decisions and upholding high standards. They are known for confidence and charisma, projecting strength and inspiring loyalty. They're also known for vision and guidance, seeing the big picture and steering others toward it. Embracing these strengths as a sovereign means that you recognize your natural ability to lead and inspire. You're not just a ruler, you are the anchors of stability and fairness, guiding others with confidence and wisdom. So, if y'all can hear, like, that's why brand personalities like the sage, or even the lover. What's another one? The warrior, which is a part of the hero brand personality, the brand family. So that stability, that discipline, that leadership, those are things that all kind of go hand in hand with the sovereign. So we're at 8 likes, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm just like, I am really impressed today. 9, y'all, thank you. It's making me so excited. Oh, this is so good. I've never even thought to set goals for the likes over on YouTube, but y'all are making me reconsider. Y'all are making me reconsider because now we're at 10. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, y'all. Y'all are making this fun already. Okay, so let's get into the challenges of this brand personality. So one of the first ones is the rigidity, like just not struggling to adapt to change and new ideas. And I feel like I'm a feel away if nobody has seen this show that I'm about to say, because ain't none of y'all has seen New Girl when I talked about New Girl and a couple of days ago, and I felt away. I was like, how has nobody else seen New Girl? So I need at least one person to have watched this show. Okay. Okay. But this makes me think about The Crown. Has anybody watched The Crown? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Your wife watched it, then you at least have a reference to what I'm talking about. So when I think about The Crown, when I think about The Crown, I think about the it highlighted a lot of the challenges of the royal family, and it helped make sense of how um like out of touch they were becoming and how antiquated it was becoming. But one thing that always interested me is the fact that they still like stand on having a queen. Like they still stand on having a royal family. And that part to me, as my feelings about them as people aside, because I have thoughts. The idea that we have royalty even at this time in history is really cool to me, because it's like this tradition has stood true throughout the test of time, and it almost feels like having like history and present time. So I don't know, it's a little, I know it's like a little nerdy, but that's cool to me. But the idea of how the idea of a royal family, what that looks like in today's society, and the role that they play now, and them trying to navigate what it means now to be the royal family, because it doesn't mean the same thing that it did in the 1800s and even the 1900s. So that idea of being rigid, that's something that you might struggle with as the sovereign brand personality, especially when it comes to like having things that you feel should be the way that they are, almost being set in your ways, because the idea of things changing might mean that you'll get like left behind, or it just feels like things are changing, but there's no honor or appreciation for some of the things that are like tried and true. So you struggle with that. Another thing that is a challenge for the sovereign is isolation, feeling lonely at the top and disconnected from others. And part of that is your own doing, because you don't feel like you don't feel comfortable. Maybe you feel like there's a certain perspective or image that you have to maintain and hold, and so you kind of keep people at a distance. But the other side to that is not being the type of person who is very committed to excellence and doing things really well, and being committed to your craft. Like, and when I start talking about the examples, you'll get what I'm saying. But naturally, it weeds people out when you're the kind of person who is very committed to what you do and doing things well and standing out because of your commitment to what it is that you're doing. So, yeah, another challenge is arrogance, believing that you're always right and dismissing others' input. Another challenge is control issues, which goes hand in hand with the arrogance, and having difficulty delegating and trusting others with responsibility. And then the last one is pressure, which comes from this immense responsibility that can lead to stress and burnout. So those are interesting, especially when I think about the rebel, and who else did we just talk about that has similar issues? The creator, similar issues with the stress and the burnout, and being reluctant to delegate, to trust people, and to really lean on that support. So, and one thing that's interesting about that is I feel like delegating is natural to me when I think about royalty. Like, I don't think I do it all on my own. I think I govern and I delegate accordingly. But I guess it makes sense that in order for you to do that well and really like embody that sovereign personality, you might struggle with the thing that would actually help you to be better at what you do. So when you recognize and mitigate the challenges, it helps you as a sovereign to maintain authority and effectiveness while still fostering a supportive and collaborative environment. Because as the sovereign, it's not you pointing down at people, telling people what they should be doing. Like, it's not leading with an iron fist. It is being the leader, being the figurehead in a sense. But your goal is not to have it all fall on you, or it all be to glorify you, but it is to help people to see where they fit and where they belong, and then allowing them to shine in those different spaces. So almost like a, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like a um like an administrator in a sense. Like if you're somebody who administrate, like if you're an administrator, you lead people, specifically people, not necessarily just like systems. Then that's what I think about when I think about sovereign. So let's get into the overview of the sovereign and how to embody it. All right. So, at the heart of the sovereign, there is a burning passion for leadership and a desire to create a world of order and stability. These individuals don't just see the world as it is, they see it as a realm to be governed and guided with wisdom and fairness. With a highly authoritative nature, sovereigns often find themselves in roles where their leadership can shine and making a significant impact on those around them. Um, Sovereigns are characterized by their ability to provide stability and inspire loyalty. Their dedication to leadership and order makes them invaluable leaders in fields that prioritize governance, justice, and organizational excellence. They possess a unique ability to make people feel secure and guided, ensuring that their actions are not just authoritative, but deeply respected. Um, so before I get into the essence of the sovereign, the first thing that came to my mind, that I said I was gonna play, but I don't want to play it because I know that YouTube is particular about copyrights. But I think about that song by Masego. Do y'all know that song, Queen Tings? And without singing the whole song, I don't want to sing the whole song, but uh what's one part of it? Okay, now it makes me want to play it. Okay, she's my queen. A. She's my queen. A. She's my queen. Y'all heard that song? She's gonna pull on me, pull like inside me. She's my queen. I like played that song. I was playing that song. I was playing that song around my birthday, and it was like I don't know what it was, but I was obsessed with it. Like I could not stop listening to that song. It was stuck in my head, and I felt like it was what I needed to hear. Because I always feel inspired and uplifted by royalty. Like I think that the whole idea of being a sovereign personality, a brand personality, or even people that you think of where you say like, she's a spoiled princess, or when we think about the royal family, there are not a lot of positive sentiments when it comes to the royal family, right? And I think about people who have definitely given it a negative connotation, but I also think about how uplifting and encouraging it feels when somebody reminds you of who you are. Like when somebody reminds you that you are a queen or you are a king, or when somebody like when people call my son, young prince, it always makes me feel good because it just feels like they're putting him in his proper place. And so I think about songs that like particularly reference royalty, or being a part of the kingdom, God's kingdom, or just reminding you that we are seated in um I don't want to misquote that scripture, but basically like reminding you of who you are and allowing you to see yourself in an elevated place, because where we tend to put ourselves is lower than where we should. And I I'm bringing this up because I feel like this is something that when the strengths are embraced and the importance of this brand personality is understood and the impact that it has on people, you realize that you are, it's not about you being seen, it's not about you being this person who lords over people, but it's about how you standing in your proper place and reminding others of where they belong encourages them and it lifts them up and it helps them to view themselves in the right place and in the right esteem. Like it helps to boost people's perception of themselves. And so your impact as a sovereign, if this is your brand personality, you have the potential to really um, inspire people to greatness and have people to really see where they're supposed to be just by one being yourself, but also your commitment to excellence and organization and structure and having delegating so that people have the opportunity to not only work in the places where they're strong, but to shine in those places. So this is one of those roles that as a leader, you really have the potential to impact people's lives in a meaningful way. So, all of that to say, no one said this yet, but I feel it, y'all. Like, I feel it. I know that, like, listening to this can be off putting to the people who represent this brand personality based off of the perception that they might have of it. So, if I have time at the end, I'm gonna talk about one of my favorite movies that I feel will really help bring this all together. But I'm gonna wait on that, okay? And I'm gonna keep on talking about the ways to embody it and the essence of the sovereign brand personality. So, sovereign brands are synonymous with leadership, stability, and vision. Okay, vision. They possess an intuitive grasp of what it takes to create order and inspire loyalty, often providing solutions that foster confidence and trust. This archetype thrives on creating environments where people feel secure and guided, making it a cornerstone in industries like law, finance, and leadership consulting. And those are just, I mean, those are just some basic ones. The sovereign brand really can be seen and represented in multiple ways, multiple industries, but those are just the most typical ones. Sovereign brands are not just about meeting expectations, they are about exceeding them in the most authoritative way possible. So, some examples of sovereign brands, and if y'all can think of some sovereign brands, I want y'all to put them in the chat. Um, some iconic brands like Rolex, okay, Benz, Mercedes Benz, they epitomize the sovereign brand personality. A lot of the typical, not typical, but some of the like long-standing luxury brands, the older luxury brands definitely lean on the sovereign brand personality in one way or another. Especially when you think about the term quiet luxury, and not to say that that's the only way to be luxurious. I honestly don't believe that that's the only way to be luxurious. I think that what is defined as luxury um, leans heavily on the different personalities that make up the brand and what it looks like to embody it. But typically, that's a good representation of it. So these brands understand what it takes to create order and inspire loyalty, often providing solutions that foster confidence and trust. Um, they have maintained a reputation for leadership and prestige, um, the reliability, and then something just came to my mind as I was talking about this, but the commitment to excellence. Hey, Ashane, the commitment to excellence, like not only doing things, but doing things and striving to be the best at what you do naturally sets you apart, which for me, that says more, that's more luxury than just having the name or having the colors, right? So that commitment to it, that commitment to excellence, that commitment to standing out and to being the best at what you do naturally sets you apart and puts you in a different place than a lot of brands. So, from the authoritative presence of Apple, there's another one. Apple's been mentioned like 3 times now. It was definitely in the creator, and then it was also in the magician. So, the creator, the magician, and the sovereign are the three brand personalities that represent Apple. Harvard is another example of it. They deeply understand their audience's need for stability and leadership, ensuring that each interaction feels trustworthy and inspiring. But y'all, there is someone in particular that definitely represents the sovereign brand personality that does not get mentioned like they should. And that is Beyonce. Queen B, literally Beyonce represents the sovereign brand personality. So here is my analysis. This is my analysis of Beyonce's brand. So she's definitely sovereign. When you think about her commitment to excellence, and literally like being the best and working to be the best at what she does, like she has really her work ethic is she works, okay, like she does what needs to get done, but also the fact that like queen, like that royalty is literally in her name. Hey Sabrina. And there is something else that made me think, the commitment to the reliability, the dependability, knowing exactly what the audience wants. But then also, this is what makes it so great, is that Beyonce's brand is not just about exalting Beyonce. Like Beyonce being herself and her commitment to excellence inspires other female artists. It inspires other women who have nothing to do with the entertainment industry, but are just inspired or encouraged or motivated by the way that she shows up and what she's been able to do throughout her career. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to make sure I pointed out when it came to this idea of the sovereign, that it's not just about you being exalted or being praised, but it's about you being you and your commitment to your brand and being excellent in this brand is an inspiration and a motivation to others to also rise in the ranks and be the best at what they do. Like literally, like being the Beyonce of any industry, you automatically know what that means. Like if I'm the Beyonce of social media, hey friend, if I'm the Beyonce of car dealerships, I'm just saying stuff. If I'm the Beyonce of wine, like you just like you understand, like she's become a verb at this point. Not a verb, but a noun. Like she is a representation of that excellence, that commitment to being the best at what you do. And so she's a really good example. But I feel like Beyonce is not only sovereign, but she's also in the lover brand personality. And so this is where I was saying, where I was talking about quiet luxury. And I was saying that that's not the only idea of luxury, that is just a certain group of people's perspective of luxury. And honestly, not to get on the soapbox, but I really feel like the whole idea of quiet luxury is really just to perpetuate a system that keeps the people who are already in power in power. So, you know, do with that what you will. but that's how I feel about it. But the other thing is that the fact that she is not afraid to be over the top, especially in the way that she dresses. When you think about when she's dressed up and her whole bodysuit is bejeweled or is all of these different prints. She's got on all this jewelry. Her glasses are doing something extreme. Like she's very decadent and like indulgent in the way that she presents herself, and but it's still sovereign. It's still sovereign, but I think that it's a mix of the lover, which brings in like that sensuality, that idea of pleasure and not being afraid to indulge and just be more over the top when it comes to how you represent the brand. So I think that those two for sure are how she paired it together. So y'all can see how having the sovereign as one part of your brand personality, but then coupling it with another brand personality gives it a fuller perspective than just being like, sovereign, Queen Elizabeth type energy. Like that's not the only way to represent the sovereign brand. So let's keep on going. If y'all think of any other sovereign personalities, y'all let me know. I actually will be really interested to see what y'all come up with, because this is one of the ones that I feel like, especially like in today's time, I feel like it's not one that if you really are part of the sovereign, you probably don't want to come across as being arrogant or like full of yourself. But like this is really who you are. This is really who you are. Yeah. I wonder if my chat's delayed because Beyonce is one. I wonder if that came in later. Okay, so y'all keep on giving your suggestions, who you think fits it. Let me know if you feel like this is you, if I'm describing you, because that's definitely something I'll be interested in figuring out. But as y'all are doing that, I'm going to start moving on to the challenges of the sovereign. So some of the things that the brand struggles with. Oh, okay, on your end. Okay, that's all right. So the challenges that the sovereign faces is balancing authority with the need for adaptability and humility. Remember, I was saying that the arrogance and just being rigid can be a big challenge and a barrier for this brand personality. Is the journey of the sovereign is often filled with risks of rigidity, isolation, and the emotional toll of immense responsibility. And that is a nod to the strength that you have in naturally being a leader and being seen as a leader. And sometimes that role is given to you because of the type of person that you are, and it's not necessarily one that you wanted for yourself or adopted for yourself, but because of who you are and how you show up in the world, people are drawn to you and look to you for that guidance and that leadership and that organization. So basically sometimes you're a leader whether you want to be or not. Now I think of Black matriarch. That's a good one. Yeah, anything that leans into like matriarch, patriarch, king, queen, reign, those are definitely brand sovereign brand personalities. So let's talk about how you're going to connect with your customers as the sovereign brand personality. So your brand attracts those who value stability, leadership, and vision. So you can be rigid, but the fact that you have that stability and that vision, which requires for you to be stable and organized in order to fulfill that vision, those are the things that people are drawn to you because of. So don't take it as a weakness that this is how you are. Just know that it needs to be balanced out and tempered at times. Okay. But your customers are buying into a relationship of guidance and trust. Because again, that organization, that stability, that dependability, that makes you someone that people not only look to for guidance, but also it makes it so that people can trust you. You consistently demonstrate confidence and fairness, and you create a loyal following that appreciates your commitment to order and excellence. Um, yeah, I really do. There's times where I definitely wish that that was more my personality, but I am committed to excellence, but I am not as organized as I know that this brand personality naturally is. So, but I can appreciate that about them because we need it. I know I need it. So when it comes to positioning yourself as the sovereign, you want to adopt a prestigious, authoritative approach with a focus on stability and leadership. Your offerings are typically set at a premium price range. You know, surprise, surprise. I don't think that that was a surprise to anybody. You're not going to be a sovereign and be cheap. Like your stuff is premium. And you emphasize quality and reliability. So the design and the marketing strategies are crafted to convey authority and prestige, are often sophisticated imagery and commanding messaging to reinforce the authoritative ethos. So you speak very absolute, and not in a way. Well, I mean, naturally, it might be a little bit more rigid. It might be a little more cut and dry. But like I said, what I said, type energy. That's what the sovereign embodies with their messaging and with their brand in general. One thing that I do want to say though, especially when it comes to the quality and the reliability, is that while that is how you want to position yourself, you want to position yourself that way and be committed to that quality. Because if it turns out, because there are some brands that have is come to light that they're the quality ain't matching the price tag, and what you're really paying for is the name. That is one of the best ways to ruin your credibility, to ruin your brand. And so when you are building as you're building, especially if you start out with that being a value, you want to continue your commitment to quality. There is a sense of fairness that you should be embodying in this brand personality that would not allow you to take advantage of the relationship that you have built with your clients, with your customers. Okay. So being committed to that quality, if that's what you're going to do, that's what you're going to do. It don't make sense for you to be a sovereign brand and your quality is trash. I said what I said in my sovereign brand personality tone. Okay. Be committed to the quality. So let's talk about the colors. Okay. So the sovereign brand often leans towards regal and commanding colors. Y'all can probably think of some of these off the top of your head, but the colors that represent the sovereign are purples, golds, and dark blues. You can see a little bit my dark blue, and it evokes a sense of royalty and authority. Hey, Biscuit. These colors often are used to create a visual identity that feels prestigious and powerful. Okay. So initially, let me be honest, y'all. So initially I had on a red dress, and I was reading through the this brand personality before I got on, and I was thinking, I was like, okay, if I'm gonna like be true to this brand personality, the red doesn't go. Even though it's like the jewel tone, which makes me think of royalty, but the fact that the fact that Blue, I know represents authority, and I know that it represents royalty. I was like, let me go ahead and put back on the blue because it is, I want to stay true to this brand, even though you could have red and still be the sovereign brand personality. But my thinking is that if that's the colors that you use, it's most likely because you are a combination of like the sovereign and the lover, like I was saying with Beyonce. So then it would make sense, and that's how, like, that's one example right there of how your different brand personalities can help you to come up with a color scheme that represents the whole brand and not just one aspect of it. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was going for, Kayla. Kayla said that I can definitely see the thinking behind the blue. It's one of those powerful colors, yet still peaceful, like a good sovereign leader. Yeah, it really does. It really does embody like that authority, that stability. It's a very like grounding color, and it people tend to trust blue. Like you're wearing blue, you got blue in the background, um somewhere you got blue going on, it represents that authority. Now it doesn't mean that everybody's brand should have blue in it, because everybody's brand, that's not your aim, that's not everybody's aim, that's not everybody's goal. It doesn't make sense for everybody, but if it fits and this is you may want to explore what type of blues you can use to convey that authority that you have as the sovereign. So let's talk about the values. At the heart of every sovereign is the desire for order and leadership. Their creations are not just products, but an extension of their commitment to stability and guidance, imbuing their work with a sense of authority and vision. So, the big things: order, leadership. Every time I say order, I think about order in the court. As if you're in doing something law related, justice related, then it's very possible that this might be your brand personality. Because that's what you value. Um, so yeah, so those are the things that should be infused in what you do as the sovereign. So here is how the sovereign brand personality makes their community feel. Sovereigns make their community feel secure and guided with a focus on stability. They make them feel respected and valued, appreciating the high standards. They make their community feel inspired and confident, seeing the vision and direction. You make your community feel loyal and committed, building strong, lasting relationships. And you also, this is important, you also make your community feel like they are rulers in their own right. Okay. So it just reinforces what I was saying before. It's not about you being the star of the show or the center of attention. It is about you and all of your royalty and all of your sovereignty. I think it's sovereignty, technically the word. I'm gonna say sovereignness though, because that feels cooler. And all of your sovereignness, you help people to feel like they are also rulers in their own right, in their own way. So not subjects or people to lord over, but kings and queens with you. So when you're making connections as the sovereign, it's crucial for you to show genuine leadership and vision. It's important to provide consistent stability and guidance. And it's also important for you to communicate confidently and fairly, making individuals feel secure and valued. So that's that confidence, that fairness not only makes them feel like, okay, I feel good here, I feel safe here, but I also feel like you see me and you value me enough to treat me with respect, treat me as an equal, not as someone who you're looking down on. So let's get into some of the storytelling ideas. Now, if you are listening to this and you feel like you might be the sovereign, then these storytelling ideas are going to help you to make better content. It's going to help you to tell better stories when you encounter people, and every day, whether you're speaking somewhere, this is going to give you an idea of what types of things you should be sharing so that you can attract the right people as the sovereign brand personality. I'm going to share three of them today, but there are other storytelling ideas that you will have to go to to the link that's in my description in order to read the full blog. It also has an outline of everything that I've talked about. I'm also going to have the cousins of the sovereign brand personality, a breakdown of them as well on this blog post. So make sure you go and check it out so that you can get all of the ideas and the inspiration and the knowledge that you need to make sure that your brand is represented well. All right. So let's get into some of the examples. One example is describing how your travel service provided a seamless and comforting experience during a family trip or for a family during a challenging trip. You can share a story about how your high-end skincare line revitalized a customer's confidence and sense of self-worth. You can talk about them, you can introduce an ethical policy with your fashion brand or honestly with any brand that promotes fairness and stability. And this is going to be really good if the policy, it leans more towards the equal and fair treatment of people. Think about it almost like um, you being a leader of the people or the voice for the people, and the policies that either you implemented or maybe even a brand that you collaborated with or a brand that you are in business with in some capacity, how they have an ethical way of running their business. Something I think about off the top of my head is something like fair trade. um, things that challenge and abolish slave labor, child labor, things like that. Like you can lean into stories about your brand or brands that you collaborate with or work with that have a commitment to those things. So those are just a few examples, but there are three more that you can use to help you to mix and match and plug in your brand so that these stories make sense for you. And one thing that I do want to mention with the sovereign brand personality is that is the sovereign really thrives in a place where they are not in a rush. Like the way that you speak, the way that you move, the way that you operate, it doesn't make sense for, like, when I think fast paced, hectic, fast. I don't. It's another word that's like is right there, but I can't think of it right now. But I don't think sovereign. When I think sovereign, I think I speak with authority. I speak with confidence. When I think about confidence, I think about someone who speaks well paced. They take their time. They articulate their ideas. They're not in a rush. If you got somewhere to be, that's cool, but I'm not trying to fit into your mold or your idea of what I have to do or what I have to be. Rushed. Yes, that's the word, Palm. Thank you. You're not rushed. And so even today I was doing my best to speak the way that the sovereign brand personality should speak, because I can sometimes get very, very fast and just a little like frantic. And so I've been taking my time and being like, okay, let's take a moment, let's breathe, slow down, let's read this again. And moving at a pace that, while it's not always the pace that's appreciated, especially when we look at how content is created on most platforms. It is one that it doesn't make sense for you to try to break that. Like, you might be standing out and setting a trend just by staying true to who you are. So thank you, Mask. So yeah, that instant gratification, that gotta get it now, that rush, gotta go, I don't have time for this. That, you know what really opened my eyes up recently? Thank you, Mask. I've been thinking, I was watching my son Kyrie. I was watching him watch like some YouTube shorts. And the thing that's so interesting about the way that kids consume content is that they're not in a rush. Like, they don't scroll like we do. He'll literally, if he enjoyed a particular short, he will let that short play like 20 times in a row. And it'll be the same 15, 30 seconds. Most times it's not a minute long, but he'll sit there and he'll let it play. He'll let it go. Or when he watches like hour-long videos like on a regular basis. And he just sits there and he watches them and he consumes them. Sometimes he'll be doing that as he's playing his game. So it's not like he's just like sitting there and just like, tuned in exactly. But there have been times where he's literally just watching the show, like he's just present watching it. And I asked myself, I was like, why is it that when I watch videos, I feel rushed? Like, where do I have to be? Like, the amount of content I'm consuming, in addition to the amount of time that I'm spending on the platform. I'm gonna use me because I know I'm not the only one, but I'm not gonna put nobody else's business out there in the streets. Okay. You can tell on yourself if you want to, but I know my screen time is embarrassing. So when I think about the screen time and how much time I'm spending in relation to how quickly I feel like I have to go and scroll through things. And it's not even because the things aren't interesting. Like, I could be interested in it, but I would rather I would rather hurry up and get through this video so that I can see what's next. Like, it's never really time to just like sit and take in whatever it is that I'm consuming. And so it was a very interesting moment that made me just look at myself. Like, it like made me reflect on how I move and how I operate. And I just feel like that's something that we as people, I'm making sure his bus isn't here. Sorry, that we as people should be thinking about. Like, how am I consuming content on here? Do I feel this pressure to hurry up and go, scroll, 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 consume, consume, consume? Or am I actually like taking time to sit, watch a video, appreciate what it is that drew me to the video in the first place, and then moving on to the next one? And if it turns out that I only watch 5 videos that way as opposed to 20 or 100, then that's okay. So anyway, let's talk about some of the key phrases and words that you would use or lean into as the sovereign. So you want to say things like, together we lead with vision, bringing stability to every moment, excellence and leadership, keeping things orderly and fair, finding strength and guidance, spreading trust and authority. Those, especially the vision, stability, excellence, fairness, order, authority, those are words that you want to lean into as the sovereign. So, sovereigns, my beautiful, strong, authoritative, leading sovereigns, I want you to remember to balance your drive for leadership with moments of humility and openness. Each act of guidance is a testament to your unyielding strength and vision. Keep leading, keep inspiring, and watch as you create a world of stability and excellence with every step. All right. So I don't even know how we're doing on time. I'm assume we're doing good on time, and I'm gonna keep on going. So if you're listening to this and you're saying, I can see some of the sovereign personalities, but I may not be a full-blown sovereign, which is the fundamental brand personality. You might just be one of the sovereign's cousins, because there are 4 other brands in the sovereign brand personality. So we're going to go through each cousin, talk about their strengths and their challenges, and dig a little bit deeper into what each one represents. So the first one is the ambassador. The strengths of the ambassador are broad-mindedness, diplomacy, communication, clarity, sensitivity, prioritization, and loyalty. Some of the challenges of the ambassador is the misuse of influence, indiscretion, erosion of confidence, and tendency to prioritize others. When I was reading misuse of influence, it made me think about Kendrick Lamar. I remember you was conflicted. Well, I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Is that what he said? Is that literally the lyrics? Abuse it, was it misusing your influence or losing your influence? Anyway, I think he might be a sovereign as well. He's somewhere in his family, especially with King Kunta. So that literally made me think about him. But yeah, ambassador, misusing your influence. It is what he said. Okay, yeah, I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same. At times I did the same. One of those two. At times I did the same. I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna say it like that's the lyrics and believe it. y'all can check me later. Okay, the next cousin coming to the reunion. Oh wait, did I do the breakdown of it? Hold up. Rewind. Okay, so the ambassador is motivated by the desire to bring people together to see disputes resolved. The ambassador adeptly navigates organizational complexity, astutely reads people, okay, a classy graph, and situations, and promotes long-term thinking. So that is the ambassador. The next cousin coming to the reunion is the judge. The judge's strengths are discernment, justice, wisdom, compassion, fairness, and balance. Some of the challenges of the judge is a tendency to use normative comparisons, susceptibility to being seduced by power, narrow-mindedness, and manipulation. The judge is a symbol for the possibility of balancing justice and compassion, believing in the value of reciprocity and altruistic punishment. The judge is adept at objectively weighing information, discriminating between fact and fiction, and challenging wrongs to be righted. All right, that is the judge. The next cousin coming to the reunion is the patriarch. There's a part of me that wants to say matriarch as well. That's the feminist in me. Give me 1 second, y'all. And then I'll come back and talk about the patriarch. Kyrie, run. Run. No, I said run. Like my outfit? Yeah, nothing like my point sheet. Okay, we'll talk about it later. All right, you guys. Thanks for waiting. Okay, so we are on the patriarch. So the patriarch's strengths are protection, selflessness, leadership, and courage. Go ahead and hang it up. We'll look at it later. Protection, selflessness, leadership, and courage. Some of the challenges of the patriarch is abuse of control, tyranny, and domination. So the patriarch is the family head of a hierarchical. Ooh, that's eating me up. Hierarchical. We're just gonna go with that. Hierarchical structure, providing oversight, governance, and protection. Adept at managing and distributing duties, this archetype is expected to attend to, defend, and protect those in its custody, even if that entails forsaking personal needs. Demonstrating self control, experience, and command, the patriarch inspires in others a sense of certainty, security, respect, and assurance. So that is the patriarch slash matriarch. It's not on the card, but that's what I'm going to say. All right. And the last cousin coming to the reunion is the ruler. The ruler's strengths are power, confidence, dominion, high status, and leadership. Some of the challenges of the ruler are fear of loss of control and chaos, entitled arrogance, there goes the arrogance again, authoritarianism, and righteousness. So the ruler represents power and control, and it is motivated to lead. Distinguished from the sovereign, the ruler's position is earned or created rather than inherited or taken by conquest. And in contrast to the patriarch, the ruler has no need to benevolently protect. Instead, the ruler must demonstrate expertise, a proven track record, and competence before taking control. This archetype is a realist and finds meaning in creating structures, organizations, and environments that are harmonious, fruitful, and constructive. So I feel like that one probably is he feels like a dictator. Am I the only person that feels like that? It's giving dictator. This is the problem now. I think that there are a lot of poor examples of the sovereign. It's giving dictator, like he's colluding with the cartel or something. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. I could understand why anybody would be like, maybe not, maybe not. Yeah, the imagery definitely can be. Yeah, lots of colonizing. That is one thing that brings me to something. So, okay, I'm gonna tell y'all all of my ideas, and we're gonna dream a little bit with this because yeah. So let me go through the personalities one more time, and then let's chat just a little bit about this. So this is the sovereign brand personality. This is what we just went through. This is the fundamental archetype. If you are not the sovereign, you may just be the judge or the ambassador or the patriarch or the ruler. So those are all of the personalities, all the cousins inside of the sovereign brand personality. Okay. So y'all, I think that it would be really cool, and I feel like it would only make sense with the sovereign brand personality for someone to explore the ideas and the ways in which rulership has um, been displayed that are not just the ways that we're used to seeing it. Like the very European perspective that we have on um, royalty and sovereignty. The I think that it has not even I think it has ruined the perspective of it and what it means and what it looks like. And so one of the things that I loved about Woman King is how it brought to light a different idea of royalty. You know, like it was one of the few times outside of like coming to America, which is not wasn't even a real perspective of it, but it just was cool. Like I enjoyed it. You know what, Palm? You may have to check it out, especially with this being one of your brand personalities, because it does. Like I really like one of the things that stood out to me, even though I know that it's not the most pertinent part of the movie, but I loved that the princess at the time, like the one that was the most like beautiful and the one that everyone like looked up to, um like according to beauty standards, was a dark skinned woman. Like I was looking at it and I was like, I could have played her. That's literally the thought that I had, y'all. Like, no shade to the woman that played her. Thank you, Belvy. No shade to the woman that played her. She did a great job. But if I was ever to be in a movie and I had a role, I would have wanted to be her. Even though she was really like not the best person. Like she was super jealous and like manipulative, but she was goals. Like she was goals, and I love that. And so just seeing that, seeing how high up the women were in terms of like status, and how important her Viola Davis's character, how important her perspective was and her input was when it came to the king. I thought that that was dope, and it is not something that you see often when it comes to portrayals of royalty. So I think that more perspectives of that, more stories like that should be displayed, because I would like to meet Viola too. Because the idea of having sovereign brand, a sovereign archetype, even within Black culture, I feel like it's so important to have, especially when you think about the order and the organization that they bring, the leadership that they bring. Thank you, Black Cherokee. The leadership that they bring, like we need that. Like literally, Martin Luther King, like King was in his name, and look what he did. Like that's the kind of stuff that I love to see represented and translated into modern times, because we need it. And so like looking at these cards, one thing that I will do um one day, not too far off in the future, I will create my own cards. I'll create my own, and I will create them from a perspective that is more inclusive, that represents more cultures and more diversity, and that shows how we fit in these archetypes. And every archetype, we're represented in all of them, because we deserve to be seen in different ways. So yeah, yeah, I that when I first saw these cards, I love the idea of brand personalities. I love um I love how even when you kind of like look past the images and focus on the things that you can relate to, you can still discover your brand personality. But I also feel like you shouldn't have to do that. Hey y'all, like you shouldn't have to do that. Like I should be able to look at these, and when I see sovereign, I should be able to see me in this. Like too many of these cards are only representing white people, and that's not the only concept of royalty. And so yeah, like that's the rebel, y'all. That's the rebel in me, because that was the first thought that I had. I was like, all right, I'm gonna push, but I don't like the fact that I have to do that. So all of that to say that correct, Kayla. All of that to say that this brand personality, Black people embody this just as much, if not more, than everybody else. Like every other group, there we are represented in this. We embody this. We do this on a daily, and the ones who identify with this brand personality, I really want y'all to know that, like, stand up, take your throne, take your space, own it, because you belong in these spaces. You belong to see yourself this way, and you seeing yourself this way is going to encourage other Black folks to see themselves this way too. That's the call. That's the mission. That's the goal in being the sovereign, is helping people to see that they are rulers in their own right. So there you go. There you go. Thank you, y'all. Blessings to you too. So yeah, y'all, sovereign. This one, I had to do it up. I had to do it right. I did not know I was finna go where I went with that, but I felt like it needed to be said, because I don't want anyone to hear this and be turned off simply based off the fact that you don't see yourself on these cards, or when you listen to it, it feels like it directly butts up against what you feel you should be as a Black person. And also what we have seen represented when it comes to our ideas of royalty and what it means to be a leader and embody this, because we embody it. Absolutely, but we just do it with flavor. Okay, we just add a little seasoning on there. I want to say we add Laurie's, but Tashi told us we can't eat that no more. But I'm gonna say Laurie's anyway. Okay, don't tell her I said it. We do it with Laurie's. Until we come up with a new universal seasoning. But that's just what we're gonna have to do. Okay, that's just what we're gonna have to say for now. Because I don't know. All we got is hypertension. Laurie's. We haven't agreed and came together on another seasoning just yet. I think that we need to have a delegation meeting, and we need to come into agreement on what our new seasoning is going to be, if we are trying to separate ourselves from the high blood pressure. But anyway, y'all, that's it. So all my rulers, all my sovereigns, I need y'all to stand up, take your place, do what you're supposed to do, because we need you. We need to see you in these places, in these spaces, taking authority, moving with order, moving in excellence, and not doing it to prove yourself to anybody else, but just doing it because this is who you are, doing it because this is what you know to do, and not being ashamed of that fact. Yeah, I gotta close up my jacket after that. Close up my fur. I feel like that was a mic drop moment, but I just feel like a sovereign wouldn't drop the mic, so I'm just gonna close my. That feels like it's like, full stop, because I closed the jacket up. Thank you. The gloves, y'all. The gloves are a whole problem, but I really love the glove. Thank you. I am. This is how I be feeling when I just like when I just get to have fun and be creative with stuff, and it doesn't feel all I don't know, serious or stuffy. I don't. I just like to be able to move in and out of it. But yeah, this is a whole mood. Okay, y'all. All right, so I'm about to go. I'm about to go. But before I go, I want y'all to tell me what kind of pose should I do for my thumbnail, because I know the gloves have to be involved in it. And so like I was just thinking, something like this, or one of these. Should I do like the wave, like the princess wave? What should I do? What kind of pose should I do? Should I know? I feel like they could be like all the way under this, but the gloves are a moment. Definitely a look away, like I'm too beautiful to even look at the camera, like this, like that. Okay. I'll do that one then. I did my little my little back part, my little tendril out. If y'all watch, hold on, let me take this out. If y'all watch Bridgerton, then you know what I'm talking about. Like everybody on that show had that hairstyle where their hair was up in some like fancy to do, and then they had a little tendril out in the back. And I was always amused by that. It amuses me every time. Like it never fails. Like somebody, you gotta have a little tendril. Yeah, it did blend in. I felt like it did. I felt like it did. So it's not really doing what it's supposed to do. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll let it go. It's a lot of elements happening here. It took a lot for me to scale back. So yes, I do the look away, and that'll be my pose for the thumbnail. But yeah, y'all. So we have two more of these left. Not two more lives, but we have two more brand personalities. We have the Sage and we have the Citizen coming up. So those will be some interesting ones. The Sage is one of the like understated ones because you'll see why. You'll see why. But the Sage, I think I might do the Sage tomorrow, and then I think I'll save the Citizen for last. For no real reason except the Citizen's not speaking to me yet. So we're gonna figure out what a Citizen even dresses like. We'll see. But yeah. You haven't found no sugar cane? Like none? That's interesting. Well, hopefully you find some in Texas. All right, y'all. Y'all have an amazing rest of your day. Trying to think. Oh, tomorrow I don't think it's gonna be live, but it's gonna be recorded. But I'll be doing a podcast interview. And the name of the series is called Women on Video or Women in Video. So I'll be talking about this experience and growing on YouTube, and then of course I'll be talking about TikTok because that's my most engaged and successful platform in terms of numbers. So I'll be recording that tomorrow. So I'll still be on. Tomorrow's going to probably be around the same time. So if it slipped your mind today, I'm going to do it at the same time tomorrow, so you can get into the rhythm of it and know when to expect me. And yep, that's it. That's all. Love y'all. Y'all be good. Stay safe. And I'll talk to y'all in the next video. Bye.